Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Hey, welcome to this episode of the NoteCloser Show. As always, Scott Carr, so excited to be here today. Today's episode is something that I think we all worry about as real estate investors, property owners, and especially over the last 5 years, we've all seen property taxes increase across the country. In this episode, rising costs, where our property taxes exploding, is definitely something that you're going to want to probably listen to, probably take some notes on, and then also probably check out the actual chart that we share with you guys to take a look and see how your largest metro that you near ranked. And what is this in response to? This is in response to Redfin released an article where they checked property taxes across the 50 largest metros. And here's a bit of the map, and you can see how it ranked from anywhere from like 0.7% increase tax rate all the way up to like 1.5 percentage points. And yep, the Lone Star State, we had the highest percentage increase across the board, but also Florida was hit hard, and also the Hoosier State was hit hard. And what they said is that the top five metro areas where property taxes have increased the most in the last 5 years since 2019, number one was basically Indianapolis. All right. And the median total monthly housing payment change from 2019 is gone up basically just under 106%. Okay. Median total monthly housing payment is $2,100 a month. Okay. Median monthly property tax payment, $205. Next up on the list where it's gone up the most, 106.8% on housing payments, is Atlanta. That's seen monthly property taxes jump up to $239 a month. Okay. Jacksonville, Florida is at 99% increase in the last 5 years. Tampa came in at 112.4% increase, and Miami came in fifth at 125.7. Now, they rolled all this together to basically rank it by how the median monthly property tax payment change came in. So I actually misquoted. So basically, Miami was at 48.1% tax increase on a monthly basis in the last 5 years. Tampa, 56.7, Jacksonville, just under 60, Atlanta, 65.8, and Indianapolis saw almost a 66.7% increase change in the last 5 years. And of course, this is according to Redfin, is a report based on August numbers. Now, we all know what's going on in the last couple months. People have been opposing their property taxes, and we know what's going to happen here in the next few months. New property taxes increases to come out for 2025. And here in Texas, yeah, it's high because we don't have a state income tax. And a lot of those cities that you see on there, the same thing, they don't have state income taxes. But here in Florida, for several reasons, property taxes have surged. Rising home values is the first thing that have gone up. But prices have come down a little bit. But part of it is that you had so many out-of-town buyers moving in, pushing up prices. Obviously, increasing frequency, intensity of natural disasters, and that Florida's had to increase their property taxes to invest in climate resiliency projects. Property taxes are an especially important way for governments to pay for those projects in states like Florida and Texas that don't have state income taxes. Additionally, some homes that are especially vulnerable to climate disasters like hurricanes and flooding are essentially uninsurable. That also motivates the state government to invest in projects to protect homes. And then, of course, the increasing population of God's waiting room. The state's increasing population has also caused increased demand for government services, schools, roads, which can motivate municipalities to raise taxes. Inflation also plays a role because those services cost more than they used to. Here's a quote here from Elijah de la Campa, senior economist at Redfin. He goes, Florida was alluring for remote workers during the pandemic because of its relatively affordable housing. Somewhat ironically, the state's population boom has driven up home prices and property taxes along with it. The cost of owning a home has gone from affordable to unaffordable for a lot of local Florida residents and out-of-towners. Home prices that are much higher than in pre-pandemic times, and the disaster-driven surge in HOA and insurance costs are now pricing home buyers out of the market. I mean, these are the reasons I'm not really buying in Florida anymore. Florida used to be a lot more affordable. Obviously, prices have gone up. They've gone down a little bit, but it's still not as affordable as it used to be. And remember, Florida was the haven. All the retirees said, we'll move down there, buy affordable condo, and be able to live our life and afford the Sunshine States altogether it has to offer. Well, that's not the case anymore because of Florida. Now, Here's another thing. Increasing home values, inflation are also among major drivers for the big property tax increases in Indianapolis and in Atlanta. Also worth noting that there are many idiosyncratic reasons municipalities raise property taxes, and those aren't captured by this metro level analysis. For instance, perhaps a government issued a big new bond, or a new administration is making a major infrastructure investment. In Atlanta, for example, taxes increased from 2019 to 2023, partly because budgets for parks and city operations increased. Okay. Hey, you're getting taxed for green spaces. Okay. But nationwide, property taxes in dollars have increased nearly 30% since 2019 to a monthly median of $250 a month. So basically $3,000 a year on average is going to property taxes. Now, the average effective tax rate across the U.S. is 0.67%, so 2/3 of 1%. And that's down actually 10 basis points since 2019. Now, the effective tax rate has declined over that period because home prices have increased more than the tax rate set by local governments. Appreciation is going up faster than taxes. That's why that ratio goes down. Even though the effective tax rate nationwide has declined, homeowners feel the burden of increasing property taxes because they're paying more in dollars than they used to. That's so true. On a metro level, monthly property tax bills have increased in 48 out of the 50 most populous metros since 2019. They've declined in just 2 markets: Las Vegas, where they decreased from 4.3, or they decreased 4.3% to just $167 per month technically, and the Steel City, Pittsburgh, where they decreased 1.7% to just $233 per month. Okay, yay! Woo! Big whop. No surprise there. Yes, property values go up, your property taxes are going to go up, definitely. Right? Now, here's some other metro level highlights, okay? Property tax bills are highest in New York and New Jersey, lowest in the Sun Belt. New York and New Jersey home buyers have the highest property tax bills. Nassau County in New York, which is where Long Island is, has the highest median monthly property taxes in dollars, clocking at the whopping at $905 a month. It's followed by Newark, New Jersey at $848 per month. New York at $821. Silicon Valley and San Jose is $782. You would kind of expect California to be a little bit higher, but anyway. And New Brunswick, New Jersey at $706 per month. Median monthly property tax bills are lowest in Phoenix, 151, Nashville, 152, Charlotte at 157, Las Vegas at 167, and Detroit at 174. Effective property tax rates are fairly low in those Sun Belt states, under 0.5%. And while rates are higher in Michigan, homes there are inexpensive. Something to keep up, more bang for your buck. All right, maybe you want, if you're looking for affordable property taxes, there you go. Although I think Phoenix prices would be a little bit higher than, out of that, I'd say probably Detroit and Charlotte would probably be the best to take a look at. It. Nashville, we know, has gone up crazy. Las Vegas is still, Detroit is still affordable, even though it's seen a bit of a rebound. Phoenix is just, I think, too expensive. Now, here's the thing about being here in the home state. Okay, effective property taxes are highest in Texas, lowest in the Sun Belt in California. All right, they're referring to property taxes here. Okay, so effective property tax rates are highest in Texas, and guess what? In the capital city of Austin, it's the highest at 1.8%, followed by Newark, New Jersey, San Antonio, Houston, and Chicago, each of which have a 1.7% rate. Effective tax rates are lowest in Nashville, Phoenix, Las Vegas, and Charlotte, each with rates of 0.5% or less. Effective tax rates are also low in California, with rates of 0.7% or less in every major metro in the state. Anaheim, followed by LA, Oakland, Riverside, Sacramento, San Diego, San Francisco, and San Jose. It's worth noting that the effective rate is quite low in California, largely because Prop 13 puts a lid on how much property taxes can increase. It's true. When you buy a property in California, Prop 13 says that basically no matter how long you own it, you're only going to be taxed on when you buy it. So that's why you have a lot of these mansions that people lived in for 30, 40 years. They're still paying taxes like it was 30, 40 years ago, which I don't necessarily think that's correct. All right. Effective tax rates have increased since before the pandemic in just 5 U.S. metros. All right. San Antonio comes first with a 12 basis point uptick since 2019. It's followed by San Francisco at 6 points, Indianapolis 3, Jacksonville 2, and Atlanta 2 points. They've declined most in Newark, New Brunswick, Pittsburgh, Nassau County, and Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. That's because home prices those places rose, while the tax rate set by municipalities either stayed the same or rose only slightly. Okay. New Yorkers, here's a disturbing figure. New Yorkers spend 10% of their monthly income on property taxes, more than anywhere else. Man, talk about tithing to the property owner. Wow. Typical New Yorker buyer spends 10% of their income every month on property taxes, a higher share than any other metro area. Next comes Newark at 9%, Austin 8%. Nassau County 8%, and New Brunswick 7%. Yeah, Austin, Texas, 8% of what you take home each month is going to go. You don't have time. You don't have any extra money to tip to God or your retirement, right? In Nashville, Phoenix, Charlotte, Las Vegas, and Denver, buyers put between 2 and 3% of their income towards property taxes. That's the lowest shares in the nation. Okay. In Newark, buyers were putting 11% of their income towards property taxes in 2019. Today, it's 9%. That's the biggest decline in the U.S. Next comes Nassau County, Pittsburgh, and New Brunswick, and Philadelphia. The typical U.S. home buyer spends 4% of their income on their property tax bill, essentially unchanged from 2019. The typical, well, we live in an atypical world in a lot of cases, okay? Here's for you guys here in the Lone Star State. For many Texas, property taxes make up roughly 20% of the monthly housing bill. Well, we know 10% is going to taxes, or 8%. 20% is going to monthly housing bill. We all know Austin's one of the most unaffordable cities in the country. Property taxes make up 20% of the median housing bill in Austin, more than anywhere else in the country. Next comes Newark at 19, San Antonio at 19, Houston at 19, and Fort Worth at 18. Dallas was in there as well somewhere. Just tells you the Lone Star State is no longer affordable craziness. Property taxes make up about 5% of housing payments in Nashville, Phoenix, Las Vegas, Charlotte, and Anaheim. Smaller share than anywhere else in the country. You know what? Hey, Steph, we're moving to Charlotte. We're just getting the hell out of Dodge and moving to Charlotte, okay? Property taxes make up smaller share of monthly housing payments than they did before the pandemic. In every major U.S. metro, the declines are biggest in some of the places with the highest effective property tax rates, led by Newark, where property taxes make up 19% of housing payments now, down from more than 30% in 2019. Well, that's crazy. Next comes New Brunswick, Pittsburgh, Nassau County, and Chicago, Chirac, Crook County. In San Fran, property taxes make up 6% of the typical home buyer's housing bill, down just slightly from about 7%. And the smallest decline of the metros in this analysis, it's followed by Jacksonville, Atlanta, Indianapolis, and Denver. Nationwide, property taxes make up 8% of the typical home buyer's housing bill. Now, think about that. When you start looking at debt to incomes and payment costs, stuff like that, taxes make up. This is also why you see a lot of defaults in these communities with new build homes, especially first-time home buyers. The property tax is often based just off the lot, not the improvements. And we see that happening where, after the first year, now the taxes are based on the improvements, and it's gone through the roof, and people can't afford it because they didn't figure that into their budget. All right. If you'd like to check out the full article, the full graph, where you can see how the top 50 rank, you can do so by going to https, basically snip.ly/property taxes. And we'll put the link below in the chat roll or in the description for you to take a look at. But I just found that interesting why, Austin, somebody was figuring out it's over like a $3,000 a month extra, or not $3,000, but $3,000 a year bonus for living here in Austin. Now the tacos are good, breakfast tacos are good, but I don't know if they're worth $3,000 good. Some people would say yes, our weather's great. Some would say it. If you've lived here for a while, like I have, it may not be worth it any much because the city has changed so much. But anyway, stay tuned, guys, for more stuff. I hope you enjoyed that. But yeah, property taxes, I think we can agree, are going up everywhere for the most part, but may come into a bigger consideration when you're looking at buying real estate. For me, it's made some changes for me in buying, really stopped buying in Florida. But I do like Indianapolis. I do like Indiana. I do like parts of Tennessee outside of Nashville. I do like Sin City. There's some different opportunities there for you, but definitely something to keep in mind when you're looking to invest, because property tax is something that's just going to get paid. Otherwise, if you don't pay your property taxes, you won't own your property very much longer. So anyway, hope that's helpful, guys. Go out, take some action, buddy, and we'll see you at the top.